Books Incorporated presents an unabridged recording of Assembling California by John McPhee, narrated by Nelson Runger. This work, copyrighted 1993 by John McPhee, is recorded by arrangement with Farrar, Straus and Giroux Incorporated. This recording is copyrighted 1993 by Recorded Books Incorporated. At various times over a span of 15 years, John McPhee has made geological field trips in the company of Eldridge Moores, a tectonicist at the University of California at Davis. The result is Assembling California, a cross-section in human and geological time, from the Donner Pass in the Sierra Nevada to the foothills of the Mother Lode, from the wine country of the coastal ranges to the San Andreas family of faults. The two disparate time scales occasionally intersect, such as in the gold rushes of the 19th century and the earthquakes of the 20th, all part of a newly understood history in which half a dozen large and separate pieces of country have drifted in from far and near to coalesce as the western edge of the continent. And now, Assembling California.
You go down through the Ocean View district of San Francisco to the first freeway exit after Daly City, where you describe in effect a hairpin turn to head north past a McDonald's to a dead end in a local dump. It's called the Daly City Scavenger Company. You leave your car and walk north on a high contour some hundreds of yards through deep grasses until a path to your left takes you down a steep slope a quarter of a mile to the ocean. You double back along the water, south to Muscle Rock. Muscle Rock is a horse. As any geologist will tell you, a horse is a displaced rock mass that has been caught between the walls of a fault. This one appeared to have got away. It seemed to have strained successfully to jump out of the continent. Or so I thought the first time I was there. It loomed in fog. Green seas slammed against it and turned white. It was not a small rock. It was like a 3-story building standing in the Pacific with brown pelicans on the roof. You could walk out on a ledge and look up through the fog at the pelicans. When you looked around and faced inland, you saw that you were at the base of a 50-foot cliff, its lithology shattered beyond identification. A huge crack split the cliff from top to bottom and ran on out through the ledge and under the waves. After a 500-mile northwesterly drift through southern and central California, this was where the San Andreas Fault intersected the sea. I went to Muscle Rock that foggy afternoon in 1978 with the geologist Kenneth DeFaze. I have returned a number of times since, alone or in the company of others. With regard to the lithosphere, it's a good place to sit and watch the plates move. It's a moment in geography that does your thinking for you. The San Andreas Fault, of course, is not a single strand. It's something like a wire rope as much as half a mile wide, each strand the signature of one or many earthquakes. Muscle Rock is near the outboard edge of the zone. You cannot really say that on one side of the big crack is the North American plate and on the other side is the Pacific plate, but it's tempting to do so. Almost automatically you stand with 1 foot on each side. And imagine your stride lengthening. Your right foot, say, riding backward toward Mexico. Your left foot in motion toward Alaska. There's some truth in such a picture, but the actual plate boundary is not so sharply defined. Not only is the San Andreas of varying width in its complexity of strands, it's merely the senior fault in a large family of more or less parallel faults in an overall swath at least 50 miles wide. Some of the faults are to the west and under the ocean. More are inland. Whether the plate boundary is 5 miles wide or 50 miles wide, or extends all the way to central Utah, is a matter that geologists currently debate. Nonetheless, there is granite under the sea off Muscle Rock that is evidently from the southern Sierra Nevada, has traveled 300 miles along the San Andreas system, and continues to move northwest. As evidence of the motion of the plates, that granite will do. For an extremely large percentage of the history of the world, there was no California. That is, according to present theory. I don't mean to suggest that California was underwater and has since come up. I mean to say that of the varied terrains and physiographic provinces that we now call California, nothing whatever was there. The continent ended far to the east, the continental shelf as well. Where California has come to be, there was only blue sea reaching down some miles to ocean crustal rock.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.